back for our next podcast, and I've got to tell you, I am super excited about this podcast because we have got Miss Iyanah here, and she is a recent graduate of Green Run Collegiate, and I was so inspired by her story. One, because she is a culmination of some work that I was really passionate about, creating a bridge between Renaissance Academy and Green Run Collegiate. And you're going to be inspired too, because Miss Iyanah is going to tell us her story. So Iyanah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Iyanah Donaway. I'm from Green Run Collegiate, like she said. I'm going to Radford to major in nursing, to be a travel nurse.
Yes.
That's really it. I'm 18.
Don't say that's just it, because your story is inspiring. And in fact, why I wanted you here, because Iyanah, I was not only inspired by you, but I feel like you can really be a great role model and inspiration to so many just like you. So I know that we're going to talk about some things that, probably to you are a little sensitive, but I appreciate you allowing us to kind of delve into your story and really understand how you got here, because it's a great story.
Thank you.
You're good. So tell us a little bit, first of all, you were at Renaissance Academy. That is the Virginia Beach Alternative School. And sometimes people go to the alternative school for many reasons, but in Iyanah's case, it was maybe, what would you say, a decision that you didn't love, right?
Yeah, I didn't love the decision. So I started off Renaissance. I got kicked out of school back in 5th grade. And when I was in 5th grade, I was going through a lot of bullying. I was getting bullied for being big, being the tallest kid in school. I was actually taller than my teachers.
Wow.
So it was I was always getting picked on and stuff like that. It took me the wrong way a little bit because I wanted to fit in a lot. So I started doing things that kids were doing so I could fit in.
Sure. What
led me to going to 6th grade year, I started off at Renaissance, which is the worst. That I wouldn't go back down that route again. So I started going to Renaissance. I was in there for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Okay.
And it was terrible. It was really terrible. So the reasons, I won't mind showing y'all the reason I got in Renaissance. So the reason why I was in there is because I was fighting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was fighting teachers. I was doing things that you don't think a kid would do, that I didn't think, because I didn't know Renaissance even existed.
Sure.
Until I was I'm getting kicked out of school. This is real.
Yes.
So I was I was in altercation with females. I was just this bad, horrible kid.
Okay, well, and you had some challenges,
yes,
right?
Definitely
You had some challenges.
But they can be fixed.
Yes.
So this is why I'm here. So
and then, so one of the things that I wanted to tell you is during my tenure as a school board member, I really saw these kids that were not bad kids, that just had challenges in their lives. And I felt like if we could just show them a little bit of direction, that they could change their life. So I really was working and passionate about creating a bridge between Renaissance and Green Run Collegiate. So tell me how you heard about Green Run Collegiate.
So one day I was sitting on my bed and I was telling my mom, I want to go to a high school. After leaving Renaissance and seeing everything that those kids were doing, it just scared me a little bit.
Yes.
And I was sitting on my bed and I was talking to my mom and my grandma. I'm I want to go to a different school that nobody knows me, a new opportunity, because if you see me and people see me outside of school, they were oh, that's the bad girl. You don't want to be around her. And I didn't like that image on me. So I was Mom, I want something new. It has to be somewhere that I could just start fresh off, that nobody knows me at. So we started moving and we got closer to GRC, and my mom got this email and it was oh, new opportunities, you can learn different things, new people. And I'm maybe I should go there. And my mom was you want to it was a raffle. So my mom was maybe you should draw for the raffle and stuff like that. And I was I'm not going to get in. So I wound up drawing out for the raffle, and then I got an email 2 weeks later saying that I got in.
Oh,
so it was
exciting.
the best thing that ever happened to me. And
it is a lottery system. But what's so great about this lottery system is that it does not look at discipline.
Yes.
It does not look at grades.
That was the biggest one.
Yes.
That was
so this is why this was so important to me, because these kids are great kids, but they just need an opportunity. And unlike other academies that Virginia Beach offers, they can get in there through a lottery without looking at discipline or grades. So that is really important.
Yeah, that was the main thing. I was Mom, they're not going to know me. I could start over. Yep. And I started over with nobody knowing me, nobody knowing my story, where I came from. They didn't worry about my past.
Yep.
So I was really happy about that. So starting at GRC was definitely like, it was good. I was so happy. I was like getting good grades. They helped me through a lot.
So let's talk about that. What was the initial difference, besides the fact that they just gave you a fresh start? What would you say the initial difference of getting into GRC was for you? Because, so were your grades very good in middle school? Okay, so
my grades were not good in middle school. Okay. Like I said, I came from Renaissance, so my grades wasn't good. I didn't care. Like it was just like a slap on the wrist for me. So when I went to GRC, it's not just a school, it's a family.
I know, I love that.
Like it's a family. Like they don't look at your past. Like I said, they don't worry about where you came from or the person that you was before. They worried about your future. So it's like they were more like a family. Like you can come to them, talk to them about your problems. They like you can sit there and they'll be there for you. So it was more not even like a school. I felt like I was like at home with my mom doing school. Like awesome. They're definitely a family. They push you to become very hard. Like they definitely prepared me for college, and I could definitely say that I'm ready to start my journey.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Like they definitely did.
So it's an incredible story. But you were actually given the Turnkey Award.
Yes.
And so let's explain the Turnkey Award, because they did say that when you first came to a GRC that you were kind of a tough girl, right?
Yeah.
A little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe a little bit like ready to kind of fight, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that transition, because I think this is a big piece.
Yeah.
Iyanah, what helped you to change your attitude about this fresh start?
So back to Renaissance. When I was at Renaissance, I saw like fighting, a lot of kids like on ankle monitors and stuff like that. And I just like, I had like this sparkle in my life, like this is not for me. I felt like I was in jail. Like actually, I felt like this is like, I'm like, this cannot be real. Like, how am I starting off my career, my life like this in Renaissance? Like, this cannot be me. And transferring to GRC, like they said, my 6th or 7th, my 9th grade year, I was thinking this is like Renaissance. Like, I didn't think like this is what the school was going to be like. So me transferring, I was like they said, I was hard, I was on edge, and they had like to slow me down, like to calm me down, like you're okay, like you're in regular school. I didn't have to be on my toes all the time to look out, like watch out for my bag. A fight was going to happen, like, and it's hard for students to like come from one bad school and go straight to a good school, because they're going to continue to do what they were doing before. So it was very hard. Like they said, I was like really struggling really bad, but the sparkle that I got in my life was that I can't be this person, because it's not going to get me nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like me and my grandma had a conversation, and I'm like telling my grandma, like, if I want to be a nurse, if I want to travel, I can't be this person that I am today.
Right.
And it's like, it's hard to change, but I always tell people that it's never too late. Never too late. Like I got my sparkle when I was 18. And like people will say like, oh, at this point you should be grown, you should know what you're going. But I feel like it's never too late.
Oh my gosh, no way.
It's never too late to change your life around or become the person that you want to be. Like I'll even tell my mom in her 30s, like, Mom, if you want to change your life around, you can. Like,
that's right.
It's never too late to keep going with your career. Like, it's okay. So that's one thing that I like keep telling people, like, it's okay to.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great message. I told you before, I really pivoted in my 30s, and took myself from a poor single mom to where I am today. And I'm just telling you, if with a little perseverance, and I have to. It sounds like you really did have the support of your family to make this move. Is that correct?
Yes, they did. They really helped me a lot. I came from like low income type of houses type stuff, but it's not all about that. And I feel like kids get overlooked about it because like where you come from, like, oh, you're to the bad neighborhood, like you can never change. And I'm like, that's not it. Like us kids, we can't do that. Like we can't change.
Yes.
And it was like people didn't, like, they gave up on me really easy. That's another thing that pushed me really hard, is because I heard like people tell me like, you would never be nothing in one day.
Now who was telling you that though?
Like people in the streets, like like friends, like they were like, oh, Iyanah, you would never be nothing. I even had a teacher that tell me I would never be nothing.
Gosh, wow.
Like at Virginia Beach Middle. So like it was like like they like literally told me like in my front of my face, like, you would never be nothing. Mm-hmm. You would never get nowhere, or you're just that bad kid. Aww. And you keep acting like this, you're going to end up like homeless or on the street. Like they would tell me stuff like this, and I'm like really sitting back like, I can't be looked at this person like that. Yeah. Like y'all can't tell me I'm not going to be nothing because of simple mistakes.
Sure.
Simple mistakes that can be fixed. So that really pushed me again to become like let me take a step back and realize what type of person I am, because y'all can't tell me I can't be nothing.
That's right.
And
That's
the only
right.
people that was like ever like close by my side was my mom and my grandma. They just pushed me like, Iyanah, you got this, you can change. Like before my grandma passed away, she literally said, you're gonna be that nurse that you always wanted to be.
Oh, I love it.
So I was like, that really motivated me. Like, yeah, grandma, I gotta do this for you, because these people looked at me like I don't want to be that kid. And now that I'm so happy is because when I see people, they be like, Iyanah, you changed your life around. Iyanah, you're that girl. Like, and it makes me happy because they see the like how I transformed, like how I was this down type of kid, but now I'm up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it feels good to yourself that you hold yourself accountable for the things you did. So.
Well, that is fantastic that you do have a great support system. I'm just going to say this, though. As you start to climb and you start hitting those goals and reaching for the sky, have you ever heard about the crabs in a bucket?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So when you put crabs in a bucket, the crabs on the bottom will pull the other crabs down to try and get to the top. Okay? So I'm just telling you, when you are soaring, you will have some people that are going to try and pull you down. Tell you, who do you think you are? Why do you think that you can do this? So I just want you to remember, Iyanah, I hear this, that you can do whatever you want to. Look at how far you have come.
A lot of the youth,
and don't ever let those other crabs pull you down. Those type of things. And they just never believe that they can be the ones
to change.
My
friend told me that.
So how do you talk to them and say, you can do this? Look at me. I mean, what is the best message? Think about the Iyanah before GRC and the Iyanah now. What would you have told Iyanah when you were in middle school?
That it was not worth it. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it being with them kids. It was not worth it trying to fight. It wasn't worth it trying to fit in. Like, it's okay to be yourself. I would tell like the Iyanah back then, like, you didn't have to do those things to fit in. Like, you can be different. And I just, like, I want kids to know, like, it's never too late to start your journey over. It's never.
That smile on your face says it all.
It's never too late. Like, don't, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, I was put in police cars and everything. It's not worth taking my time out to sit there and be that type of child. It didn't get me nowhere. Like, I want people to know that, like, you can continue to go down that path, but it's not going to get you nowhere.
Right.
It brung me down. Like, I lost good friends. Like, good friends. You leave good people behind. I lost good friends that I look back and be like, I should never lost them.
Yeah.
Like, they were good friends. And it's like, just because I was trying to be the hard kid. And I was trying to be the one.
Was it protection? Like, for protection?
Yeah.
In your mind, right?
Yeah. Because I was getting bullied a lot. So it was like, let me be this hard kid so they know not to mess with me. But it's like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
It's not going to get me nowhere. And I'm so glad that I changed. Like, it's just really big. And now I got like 45 offers to school.
I know, that is exciting.
And I got over $60,000 in scholarships. So it's like, it's never too late to turn your life around. And I changed my life around starting, I would say, 10th grade year. It just
snapped.
Up.
Like,
yeah.
It just clicked at that point.
It was definitely worth it, though.
Well, you know, one of the greatest things that I love about GRC is you mentioned that family component. And when I talk to GRC students, they truly feel like it is a family.
It's a family.
You know, like they say, I never had an educational support system before.
Never.
And so now you not only have all of the staff and the teachers, but you also have each other.
Yes, one thing I love about GRC is a small family. Like, everybody is friends. Everybody knows each other. Like, we're not a separate. You know how you go to some schools and you have one group of students over here, another group of. It's not like that at GRC. At GRC, we come as a whole. This is a family. We come to as one. Like, we stick together. Like, class of 24, we stuck together.
Yeah.
Like, it was like we could talk to each other. Like, it's not, no, you go your own group, we go a group. No, we do this together. And what I like about it most, that teachers, they never like set a student out and like, oh, you could go to your own group and y'all could pick your own groups. No, all the assignments, like if we had to do group assignment, it was all the class together. Right. It was never pick a partner. Like, we were definitely good friends and we were there for each other. Like, you need a shoulder to lean on, you can pick anybody out of your
That's
class
right. That's right.
to lean on them. So it was definitely family. The teachers were amazing. They were just like, you could come and talk to them about anything. You could sit there and like tell them your outside problems without nobody even judging you. Like, it's definitely a family. And I would recommend anybody to go to GRC.
Oh, I love it.
Like,
I love it.
Anybody can go to GRC and feel like, I never had a school like that.
Yeah.
And I went to Virginia Beach Middle. Before I got kicked out and stuff, I went to Virginia Beach Middle and I also went to SeaTac. But it was like just a regular school. When you walk into GRC, you're like home.
Yeah.
Like, they make you feel welcome. You can run to them. You can talk to them about your problems. If you have issue with grades, like, they will actually sit down and talk about your grades.
And let's focus on that for just a second.
Yeah.
Because GRC is not just a regular curriculum.
Oh, no.
Right, girl? I mean, it is an IB style program,
Yes.
interbaccalaureate style program.
Yes.
And it's tough. And if I remember right, I saw at graduation that you graduated with honors.
Yes, I did. I graduated with
Okay,
honors.
so let's just talk here for a second, because this is important. You went from middle school where
all E's.
Okay, all E's. And now all of a sudden you're getting a full ride to Radford. You're getting $64,000 in scholarships. And with honors.
Yes,
So Iyanah, like, talk us through that. How in the world do you go from all E's to with honors in an IB program?
So it was definitely hard. GRC is definitely hard. It's not like a regular school, but you have to keep your mind to it. Like, and it's very time management. I used to stay up actually late all nights working on essays. And it pushed me to actually, like, I'm so grateful for GRC because they pushed me, like, I'm ready for college. Like, I could look at somebody and be like, I'm going to do fine at college because I did this stuff in IB school. So I used to stay up all night writing essays till like 3 a.m. and had to be up at 5 a.m. But it's definitely time management, and you have to, like, keep going. Like, you have to put your mind to it. And when you ask for help, don't ever just stop and, like, just give up. You have to ask your teachers for help and stuff like that. And like, I did graduate with honors, and I had graduated with all A's. It was definitely a tough time because I didn't think I can do it. So it was like, yeah, like, how do you get from all E's to A? And it's like, you just have to work your butt off. You have to put your mind to it. It's not something that comes overnight. Like,
most schools don't.
Yeah.
Right?
This is not. And
Nobody
they don't play. They don't play because you would not graduate with them crazy grades. Like, but like I said, it's the support system they had.
Yeah.
Like, if I was failing a class, they would come to me directly. Iyanah, what do you need help with? How can we help you? You need to sit down. Do we need to study? Like, my principal even told me she'll come get me from my house. Like, they really work with you really hard. Like, they don't play. And it's just time management. You just have to stay focused and don't get out of line. Like, just have your work turned on all the time and stuff like that. But like I said, I had the sparkle in my life that I just needed to change. So I was doing anything and everything I could to keep my grades up. Like, I was even staying after school sometimes. Like, I was, like, in the office working with them. And it's definitely, I worked hard my 9th and 10th grade year because my 11th grade and 12th grade year, I wanted to be so smooth to the point that I started working in the office with, at GRC. Like, I was, like, doing, like, business with them. I was, like, passing out papers, putting up posters. Like, I worked around the school because I worked it so hard for my 2 years. So it definitely was a struggle.
Well, I have to tell you, so I saw the letter you wrote to Miss Patricia. And I brought tissues to the podcast because I, like, just thinking about that letter.
Yeah.
Oh, here it comes. But thinking about that letter, it was so touching.
Yeah.
What you wrote to her. And to have these people that believed in you and fought for you and supported you. What do you say I mean, you said it in your letter, but, like, how do you feel about this group of adults that just really, really said, Iyanah, you know what? We're not giving up on you.
Yeah, they actually did it, and I really thank them. That's the biggest thing, is thanking them, because they were there for me at my lowest. I don't want to cry, but
I know, you're going to make me cry. I'm a sympathy crier.
They were there for me at my lowest, and like you said, they supported me through everything. They did not give up on me. Like, I sat in that office one day with Ms. Miller. She's the counselor at GRC. And I looked at her in her eyes. I'm like, I would not be here if it wasn't for y'all. Oh. Like, I would definitely drop out of school if they didn't push me to become the person I am. Like, I said in her office, I'm like, why did y'all try with me? Like, and then I told her, like, she didn't know my story. So I sat there and I told her my story. I'm like, I came from like nothing.
Yeah.
Like I was a bad kid. And she said we didn't have to know that.
Yeah.
We just tried with you. We don't have to know your story.
That's right.
And she supported me like through every little thing, like every little step or challenge that I was facing. Thank you. She definitely like helped me through it. And I'm like, I was thankful because I want people to know like it is support out there. It's people that never gave up on you. Like when I came in, like I said, in 9th grade year, I was hitting rough paths. Like I was transit, so you didn't like, it's kind of hard for a student coming from Renaissance, coming to regular school. You don't know what to expect.
That's right.
So I was still on 10, and she was like, you don't have to be that. Like we're here. Like she didn't give up on me. I come in her office every morning saying, I'm done. I can't do this. I can't. I'm trying. This is too much. And she's like, Iyanah, keep going. Like, we're here to support. Keep going. Keep going. Miss Patricia, I used to tell her, like, you know what? Just sign me out of your school. I used to tell her, like, get the papers. Sign me out of your school. I don't want to be here no more. And she's like, Iyanah, you came too far. You doing this. You're doing this. And every time I got a reward, it made me cry.
Yeah.
Like, for leadership or a role model or helping others, it just made me cry. I'm like, okay, I could keep doing this. And when people it makes me feel better when people say, good job, or you did it. Because that pushed me to be harder. Mm-hmm. Like, I would go in her office, like I said, and she was like, no, you can't give up. I'm not signing no papers. And I'm like, just sign them. Just sign me out your school. And she's like, no. And then she was like, you got to realize how far you came.
Yeah.
Like, this is the person you was before, and now look at you now.
Yeah.
And I would never, in 18 years, see myself where I am today.
Well, and that is the beauty of this story.
Yeah.
Is that, did you ever think that you would not only just go to college, but get a full ride to college?
Yes, never. Like, when I tell my friends, I'm like, y'all, I really gotta, like, and it's kind of hard, but I'm like, I sit and cry because it's emotional. Like, my story is very emotional, but I'll be looking back, like, I would never even thought I would never even see myself finishing school.
Yeah.
Only because I knew the type of the girl that I was back then.
Sure. Yeah.
I would never, cussing at police officers, like, who would have even thought you would do something like that, and now you're here sitting with a full ride to school, over $6,000 to school. Like, you would never even thought that I would be this person that I am today. And when people see me, they'd be like, yo, you're not even the same person no more.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely changed, and I definitely came a long way.
So do you feel like when you're telling people your story, peers that you grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
that knew you as Iyanah in middle school, you already know that you're like an inspiration and a role model to them, right?
Yes.
So, how do you plan on using that platform? How do you plan on using what you've been through? Like, do you have any desire to inspire other people?
Yes. So, like I was telling you, that I do have a brother, and he's also a Renaissance. And every day I talk to him. He is young, and I tell people, like, the young kids probably don't understand. Like, I didn't understand. I didn't have nobody to make me, like, look up to or understand, because I was following after those people in Renaissance.
Yeah.
And I was telling my little brother, like, this is not where you want to be. I cried to him. He's only 11, so he's looking at me like I'm crazy. But, like, I'm telling him, like, if I had somebody to tell me where you are right now, this is not worth it, I would tell you. I had to find my own way. I had to go my own path.
Right.
I was like the odd one out of the group. Like, everybody was on doing their own stuff, and I was following after them, and I had to turn around, like, no, that left side is not for me. I need to go right. So I was telling my brother, like, if I was the person, like, if I had a person tell me right now, this is not for me, I would have been changed my life around. And he's young, so like I said, he's not understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I really want to do is touch other people, to let them know, like,
inspire other people.
Inspire other people that it's okay to change. Like, I want them to know that your story can just begin, and my story is just starting.
Oh, it absolutely 100% is. So I'm going to ask you though. So when you're talking to your brother,
mm-hmm.
and he's seeing you as an inspiration and doing all these different things, how hard is it? Because you've been there.
Yeah.
To separate and break away.
It's hard.
Okay, so really quickly, because I don't want, we have about 5 minutes, but really quickly, tell me what you did mentally, what you did, in terms of physical separation. Like, how were you able to break away from that?
From Renaissance, like,
just from your peer group.
Oh,
that was get you in a bunch of mess.
What made me break away is one thing that my grandma told me. And this is really simple because it falls on a lot of people. She said, Iyanah, if you don't change your way, you're either going to be up in jail or going to be dead. And that sat with me for a long time because the people of Renaissance, guns, violence, you know, and that scared me because either I can keep going down this path and end up like how everybody else is doing, or I can end up dead and my life is done. Yeah. So it was like in between, and that stuck with me the whole time, especially when I was around the friend group that I was around. They was doing drugs, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm like, this cannot be me. Mm-hmm. And my story just began there.
Oh my gosh, it's an amazing story. And I just want to say though, because I am a huge fan of having Renaissance, because it helps you. Instead of expelling you, we send you to a place where you can at least still have smaller classrooms, you can focus. Yes. So I want to make sure that people understand how important Renaissance is to the big picture.
Yes.
But what we have to do now is we also have to create that bridge like you took, you know, and have those kids walk through that bridge to a better life.
And don't be scared. Right. I tell people, don't be scared. Yeah. It's going to be hard, but don't be scared.
Yes, ma'am.
It's better opportunities out there when you get across that bridge.
So look at you. Like, I can just see it in your physical face. I can see you, like, you're glowing.
Thank you.
You are so, like, you're so ready to take on life, Iyanah.
I can't wait.
And you're like, oh my gosh, here I come.
Yes.
You know, life, here I come. So I just, gosh, you just are so inspiring. I love the story. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
And we just wish you the best.
Thank you.
Because you are just going to kick tail and just have this amazing life. And I just really wish that for you, and I know that you're going to tackle it head on like you did this challenge.
Yes.
So congratulations. And again, you're going to be studying nursing, right?
Yes, I want to be a travel nurse.
Okay.
So yes, I'm going to be nursing. I'm going 5 hours away from home. It's different, but I'm ready to take on a challenge.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, listen, everybody, if you want to get in hold of Iyanah because you want to have her speak to your group or whatever, reach out to us. I will put you in touch with Iyanah and let you do that. Remember, she is going to college, so please don't expect her to do it for free. She needs scholarship money. She needs money for college. But if you want her to inspire you too, then get in touch with us and we will make sure that we connect the both of you, all of you, because she wants to do great things and we need to help her to do that. So anyway, thank you again for listening, Iyanah. Thank you for spending time with us and telling us your story.
Thank you for having
me. Is this not inspirational, everyone? I am just so excited to bring this one to you, and just wishing you the best and have a great day.